Well, welcome back to our Warplan Pacific campaign. I want to give a special thanks to just how great everybody has been in the comments and with the likes and all that stuff. As always, I'd ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. The YouTube algorithm demands it, and frankly, so do I. So guys, we're here in an interesting situation, and that is that winter has arrived. As you can see, we've got snow falling just about everywhere on the front, even in seemingly jungle areas, although actually north or central China really is more kind of temperate. That being said, the first thing I want to do is reallocate my air divisions here closer to the city of Peking. Now, I still haven't figured out how to use the SNLF troops, and we've actually ordered a few more of them. But as we discover who the SNLF troops are, I'm just going to kind of keep them over here near Tianjin to eventually join the fight a little bit later. In the meantime, they'll stay put right there, and we are continuing our push into enemy lines. And look at that, a beautiful break right there. Just great work with the 14th Army and the 21st. And if you take a look there at the, and this is extremely important, the effectiveness of the unit. One of them is at 75%, one of them is at 47%. That's not great. And I think at 30%, a unit is totally combat ineffective. So far, everything seems to be going as planned, particularly here around Tsingtao. The only thing I think I want to do is just get our Navy here to kind of keep an eye on them. We could also resupply the front, and I'm not sure. I've never done an attack in this sort of weather, but of course, I really want to try and hit that location. I'm hoping we can still hit after readjusting. You know what? I'm going to bring these guys near Tianjin. I just want to make sure that the Air Force can reach all targets. And let's go ahead and start heading into Tsingtao. They managed to hold against pretty overwhelming odds. Got to give it to them. And once again, managing to hold. Again, my first instinct is to immediately start heading towards this massive spearhead of Chinese troops. But I'm almost thinking the best thing is just to secure Tsingtao, make sure that we don't lose it no matter what, basically. And kind of get these guys in a position over here. And those red Chinese troops, they really are coming from Communist China. As you can see, this part of the map is Red China, Mao Zedong's territory. And they're doing extraordinarily well, I must say. In fact, I'm not even sure if Mao Zedong was in power at the time. He wasn't just automatically in control of the Red forces, that's for sure. Some backstabbing here and there. And again, please keep it up with the comments, giving us history on just all these conflicts. I love them. I learn so much just from what you guys have to say. So again, this area is definitely more important to me than that one in the west. I'm going to try to make a bit of a push here, especially since it's now nice and cold. Maybe it's a good time to really establish a front line here, as it were. Just kind of wanting to switch these two. That's okay, though. And this is an attack across a river. Not even sure it's going to work out too well. And it's also a red Chinese troop here. Let's go for it. They held pretty damn well, I must say. So we're not going to make that mistake again. What we will do is try to move the generals down. That's right. We moved them last turn, or this turn, I should say. This is a continuation of our last game, of course. And I'm thinking now I have a new target, and that's going to be the steel mill right there. I think that steel mill is going to be very, very important to our cause, and of course could make the war move along quite a bit faster. You know, I really want to carry out that attack, but just don't have enough recon to safely do it. So let's hold on for now. Let's, however, try to bring the additional troops up next turn. And we've got some troops arriving as well. There we go, guys. Let's turn it over to the Chinese. Here we go. So unlike the other turns where they seem to be falling back, it looks like they're actually reinforcing this front. I'm not sure if that's because of the cold weather. Maybe they expect us to be moving a little bit slower and suffering from attrition. Or because they want to hold on to that steel plant area and kind of stop us before we get too far here. Oh boy. That's a breakthrough. That's the first Chinese breakthrough, as a matter of fact, there. We want to watch out for that. In fact, as a way of vengeance against such an attack. We don't respect our enemy, we just absolutely want to annihilate them. We are going to bombard that area. Keep it going. Let's see if we have any recon information. It's a Chinese 1st Cavalry Corps. I think I'm going to bring in a much stronger unit here, the Japanese 10th Army. And there we go. We managed to get some vengeance for the men that had to retreat during that fight. In the meantime, I don't necessarily want to take our eyes off that red army there. It's going to be a nasty little fight here, but I do want to take Tsingtao. That's something I'm certain is something I want to finish here. And there we go. A little bit closer. We'll have this army watch those guys. And that's why I kept this guy behind the mixed brigade. And I think, maybe we could head over here. Nope, let's keep pushing this way. In fact, I will order an attack here. I didn't expect much to come from it, but I just want to put the pressure on the Chinese. I don't want them getting comfortable in this area. Same thing over here. Again, we're not necessarily... I did not mean to do that. Okay, now we have to attack this unit. Again, those red forces. Always double check, folks. Those red forces are rough. Not too bad. Make sure these guys are in supply, and they are indeed. In fact, I'm going to have General Kanichiro Tashiro hang out here in Yangshan for now. Just get his strength back, of course. And for the Kuomintang Army HQ, I should want to try to get... Oh, wait a minute. We already have a general watching over these boys. Kiyoshi Katsuki. We'll get this guy over here. So there we go. We do have reinforcements arriving. I'd like them to arrive a bit faster. And I guess we're just going to try to send this SNLF force out again. So get them on a ship, and we're going to try to get back here. But we've done it once before, and it didn't work out as intended. It's the one part of the game that still eludes me. This is another NLF force. And I'll just show you guys, when I hit show invasion disembark hexes, it says no selectable units to invade or disembark. Nonetheless, when I do it over here near the port, it disembarks just fine. So I wonder, normal reinforcements. Let's just make sure we've selected them. And that's a reinforce and upgrade thing, which is pretty cool. Nope. So I'm just going to keep going along the coast. Maybe I'll find an area where he'll be able to actually disembark. Who knows? Just kind of play around with it. I find with these games, that's the best thing to do. Often the strategy manual is quite large. But actually, the tutorial in this game is pretty straightforward. It's really the only aspect I'm kind of stuck on. All right, let's get this unit out of here. Same with this one. We've got some reinforcements coming from Peking as well. But my main goal now, everything else has kind of become secondary, is to take that steel infrastructure. Really, really try to hurt the Chinese. Maybe another attack over here too. Hey, not bad. Let's go for another one, boys. And then all that will be left will be the forces over here at Tsingtao. I don't want to get the general too close. He could be in danger. And I think we can end the turn right there. And you know what? Actually, before the turn ends, I'm tempted to hit this red unit right here, the 4th Army. I just want to see the readiness and effectiveness of our troops. 54% and 50%. Not great. Not great, period. This one's at 44%. Now, over here, once again, the Japanese Korean Army. Again, that readiness is just not something that I think is appropriate for an attack. I want these guys to get resupplied, and that's what we're going to do. Especially with all this cold, let's end the turn and not worry about it for now. Now, we will see when these armies, and look at that, these are all SNLF troops. So I'm hoping that's for the behind-the-scenes attacks that we're going to be doing that so many people have spoken of. I'm just hoping that right now the snow will keep any crazy counterattacks at bay for now. But I am concerned that Mao's troops are reinforcing the Republic of China's army. And man, they're much better fighters from what I can see. Now, I'm not sure if that's an equipment issue or just a pure hatred for the Japanese issue, but it does seem pretty rough. So again, no attacks there. Let's end the turn. I'm already seeing those reinforcements arriving. I like that. Man, we could even wait another turn. If we wanted to be... I don't think the Emperor would allow it, but if we wanted to be crazy, we could wait another turn. It is raining, by the way, so again, we've got this sort of... It's not really a monsoon, but it's torrential rain. And just stop and wait for more reinforcements. But I don't think we have that kind of time, and I see a potential encirclement starting to happen here. So first, let's take Tsingtao. Finish that off once and for all. I also want to finish off these guys just kind of hanging around. And that's the Chinese 17th Army. So we might need another unit to help us take that thing out. But let's go ahead. Let's also do the same over here. That's right. I'm saving our air support for next turn. I lied. It's also going to demoralize them, as you could see, so I don't think they're going to stand up to the next attack. Not bad. That's all right. We're going to be dealing with those guys for a bit, so we'll simply get used to it. Over here, same thing. I want to just bust through here, try and basically get on the eastern side of this river, and see if maybe we can break through over here past the enemy lines. A little bit risky, honestly, especially with all this rain. Let's switch. Pretty much equal losses on both sides there. That's not working out well for anybody. And again, maybe I should stay, as I said before, with all this rain, it might be the right thing to do, especially since we have reinforcements arriving here. Just going to bring these guys right into China. And as you can see, even just the border crossing, typically we were flying across. But with all this rain, things have slowed down considerably. I've got to do at least an attack over here, try to break open this coastal area. Because, of course, that's our goal, is to break open the coast, starting from Tsingtao and working our way down to Nanking, Shanghai, etc. So I'm going for it. What I'm most concerned is that red Chinese unit there, so we're going to do a concentric attack from all sides. We should have actually waited with the air support. Man, what a tough force. They really don't give up easily. In my opinion, much better at this sort of combat than the standard ROC troops. And yet we're spent there. We will at least kind of close that gap, but that is an annoying situation to have. Make sure all these guys are in supply. It's looking good. Looking good over here. So yeah, I mean, due to the weather, I hope the Emperor doesn't think I'm a complete coward. But because of that, I think I'm probably going to hold off. The one exception I'll make is the attack over here. Massive concentric attack, again, trying to push them back. I think we've at least harmed the Chinese army enough, but, you know, they still have their supply lines. That's why I want those SNLF troops to arrive as soon as possible. Definitely a costly attack, no matter how you look at it. But I'd say, taking Tsingtao definitely makes me happy. Let's hope that we can continue with that sort of progress. And let's go ahead and end the turn right here. Wait a minute. Deploy. Oh, wait. We do have some coup de SNLF deploying. So this time, I'm going to drop them over here in an effort to actually get behind enemy lines. We're going to put all the coup de SNLF units here. In fact, I might purchase additional ones. I've been liking them quite a lot. Let's get some more of those SNLF units. So let's bring in the successful SNLF units. And you know, I mentioned before I want to get some additional bombers and particularly ground support groups. So even some close air support. Let's get that. And a tactical air group, maybe for strategic bombing. We're going to have to wait a bit for that. Yeah, I figured that was going to be a little bit more expensive for sure. What about just some good old-fashioned landing ships? Yeah, let's do that. Some transports as well to help us out. I think that'll do her for now. All right, we're ending the turn. We are, of course, in supply. No issues there. I almost forgot to move the 6th Army, though. It's going to be a damn strong army, so I want to make sure they get to the area they're going to. Yeah. Really needed that exposition, Agrippa. My apologies, guys. Sometimes when you're trying to do a video, your brain just melts for a second. All right, they've actually left the steel plants. We might be able to go for that, although it could be a trap. The way they're moving back here, it's like that unit would be encircled completely. Yeah, they don't like that we've gotten on the rails there. They definitely want us off the rails. Getting plenty of supply, though. Anybody that thinks the invasion of China is an easy operation is absolutely insane, especially before the capture of Nanjing and Shanghai. There is still so much left to do. So I'm going to try to use this coup de unit. I want to make sure we're doing this the right way here. We are going to figure this out. It could maybe just not be the correct, you know, transport vehicle or something. Yeah, see, that's... Let's maybe we select it. Is that correct? No, we're going to have to figure that out. What we'll do is for the next episode, I'm just going to go into the tutorial page and just take a look there because we've got another SNLF unit arriving this turn. In fact, oh, okay, not yet. February 10th. But when they arrive, I'm just going to have a nice large group of those SNLF troops, and we're going to find a way to get behind these enemy lines. We must do it. Such a good opportunity for a breakthrough, of course. Now, with all the mountain fighting over here, that's why I think this front has simply not progressed as quickly as this one with all the open territory. And I'm going to dedicate pretty much all of these units to reinforce and replace the units on the front line there, because things look bad. We will send, of course, a few down south, but for the most part, I think I'm definitely going to try and help them out here. We'll just, again, call that the Peking front, and I'm almost thinking that instead of bombing a potential breakthrough area, we should bomb these units and make sure that they remain fairly weak. So that's what I'm doing here. Already he's downgraded a bit. The other option is to, and I think this is very risky, go for one final attack here. And they are defending a city right there. They don't want to lose Shuoyang. Let's go for it, man. We are the Imperial Japanese Army. We should fear nothing. But the enemy's holding on for a bit there. And I've already checked to make sure we are in supply there, so no issues in terms of actual supply. We're just going to remain there for a bit and really focus mostly on this front. This is where I think we could get a lot of breakthroughs. With the Korea Army, we could actually assist in rolling up the line here. I'm not sure it's going to work because they've got that Red Chinese Army there. Maybe it's better that we actually bring this guy in for an attempt to flank. So that's what I'm going to do. Again, not 100% confident with that maneuver, but I'm pretty much a novice with these kind of strategy games, so I like to try new things. But let me know in the comments. I love when you guys criticize. I really do. And when you guys praise me. I like both of them. Especially when it's like micromanaged stuff like this, because I really need to know the answer to these questions. See, there's no river here, so I don't think we worry about any sort of difficulty crossing the river. Now, boys. And let's go for a full-on attack on this guy. We can finally reinforce here and defend against that red army there. A little bit of damage, but really not sufficient to warrant any sort of continued attacks. Let's see if we can wipe him out, and thankfully, no biggie. Immediately crushed. He's trying to actually run over there to the end of the peninsula. That is amazing, to say the least. This unit is holding at Tsingtao. I certainly want to bring him in. So here's what we'll do, and not bad. Really try to put pressure on that. See, if all else fails, we could bring that SNLF unit over here to Tsingtao and just have him reinforce the front. Not a bad idea, actually, all things considered. I'm thinking we could bring him in and have him sort of help us on this front. It's a pretty rough one. And that Chinese unit, that communist unit, is still a pain in our backside. Come on. Unbelievable. His strength is at half. He's really close to breaking, but the units that we have up here on the front are not doing much better themselves. 15%, 10%. This one's 51, but their combat effectiveness is wavering big time. So we're bringing some supply here, some supply here. I joked before about maybe just giving these guys a break, and now I'm starting to think that's exactly what we need to do, is maybe just have one turn where we wait and don't do much of anything. But let me know what you guys think. I'm glad we took Tsingtao. I consider that a big victory. But the next big victory would be Nanking and Shanghai. That would be absolutely massive. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love some more, maybe give me detailed instructions on how to send these SNLF troops out. Again, the bulk of them are arriving on February 10th, and that's when we're going to be getting a massive amount of those landing troops. Let's hope they make a big difference here, and keep up those likes, comments, and subscribe if you're new. Take care, folks. I always put all the other episodes in the description, just in case you missed them, so check them out.